that I was just like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a laughable one.
He still gave a great performance, but I'm so accustomed to...
We decided to take a look back at the superhero movie that started it all. No, I'm not talking about Batman from 1966. I'm talking about Superman from 1978 with Christopher Reeve.
This is Frame Rate Studios, where we love to talk all things movies. I'm Corey, and my supersized man over here is Chad.
I like the super. I don't know if I like the sized, but it's not like you can argue with it, folks.
Well, he is, but he's also so cute.
I won't speak for you, but I know for me, going into this, and I think I cross-pollinated it with watching the others in the series, that I was just like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a laughable one.
What did you say?
But I walked away much more surprised at how much I enjoyed this and appreciated it than I thought I would.
Ah, that is so much better.
Don't get me wrong, we had plenty of times where we were making some comments.
You really had to go there?
But I think that was due more to its age than really about the movie not being good.
Yes. I mean...
I like the laugh there.
No, it's just my whole... I was thinking about, for the longest time when I was a young kid and everything watching this, Zod.
Terrence Stamp.
Terrence
Stamp.
Stamp.
Is plays
Yeah.
Zod. Yeah.
Okay, Terrence Stamp, I thought he was George Carlin.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So I looked up, I was trying to remember, I was thinking they did blue screen for all this, but they actually did blue screen and green screen. And when I looked it up, it said the 1978 film Superman used both blue screen and green screen. Blue screen used for stationary shots of Superman flying towards or away from the camera. Green screen used to make it look like Superman could fly. This was because Christopher Reeves, who played Superman, couldn't fly.
No, really?
You made a comment that, what do you expect from a comic book movie back in the time? So much of the logic was gone because it was comic book based.
And I made the joke at the beginning, but yeah, other than Batman 66, which was made off of the TV show, which is kind of in between seasons, this was the first real comic book movie that had been put out there. And it took care to make it that it still held at the time true to the source material, to the comics, but also to try and get more audiences to watch it. Because you can tell they wanted that this was meant to be, and for how much money they spent, this was supposed to be an epic, massive blockbuster.
You're kidding. How big? Huge.
You talk about this epic budget and everything. I meant to look it up for what would it be for today, but in 1977, when they're making the payouts to him, Brando was paid $3.7 million for his 10 minutes. What would that translate into now?
Times 2, carry the 1.
First off, the credits at the end are the longest, especially at the time, because it goes, if you watch the whole thing, they go 7 minutes. And what the fact said was, those credits cost more to produce than some movies at the time.
Once that credit started, the music started, the nostalgia hit.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, wow, this is going to be fun. And then all of a sudden that quickly faded when you go on. Is half the movie credits?
Kind of pivoting here and going to, we already sort of did with, you're talking about Brando and what his payout was and everything, but really, the actors do a really good job in this as far as the characters are playing, especially the characters are trying to get across. And the thing to this day, I want to say to Zack Snyder from Man of Steel, why couldn't you have used that as the template for Lois? Margot Kidder had Lois right all the way back in the day. Why are we messing with, yes, update it and things, but she got it right, I think, Hackman did a good job as Luthor, especially Luthor of that time. Don't get me wrong.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish and then.
Well, no.
You go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
No.
Okay, my thought is, yes, he still gave a great performance, but I'm so accustomed to who we see Lex Luthor is now.
True.
Very methodical and very thoughtful. And he doesn't spill out his plans. I felt like with Otis being his sidekick, I was watching.
Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
I'm not, even though I was into comics, I was more of an Image comics guy when growing up.
Rebel.
Yeah. But I don't understand how Kryptonians seem just normal humans on their planet and then come to our planet, and because of the atmosphere, they're super strong. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand all some of this.
Okay.
But then you actually take part of the planet and you put it next to them, and they become even weaker than what it appears they were on their own planet. And could they see through objects?
So here's all I'll say. I don't know enough other than to get myself in trouble, so I will say yes. Leave us a comment. Leave Corey a comment down below. I thought the funny thing was that, and I'm sure you either read up on this or noticed it, that it's like, so Clark's hair is parted on one side and Superman's hair is parted on the other. So it's just, they are stupid, silly little things, but it's interesting. Just, I like those little nods.
That was one of the things. Christopher Reeves does a great job. Got like a dorky, nerdy guy who can't even handle his own body. It's almost like he's going through puberty again or something. And then you have this confident guy. And
that was the funny thing was, in all the trailering going up to it, Reeve was an unknown. Christopher Reeve was a total unknown. So like he wasn't even mentioned. It was all about Brando and Hackman, but I mean, this is supposed to be carried by Superman. I mean, this was a lot like back when Hugh Jackman was cast as Wolverine. Everybody's like, who's Hugh Jackman? Who's this guy? And then, he plays the role very well. The same with Christopher Reeve. It's like, who's this guy? But, absolutely does such a good job.
So, should we bring Superman in for a landing?
Yes. I think we should. I would agree. Yes, we'll bring him down to earth, as it were. So, does it necessarily completely pass the test of time? No, there are ways that it is dated. There are things that you will notice. But overall, is it a very well put together movie that in that way can last the test of time? The story can and everything? Yes. The special effects are a little dated, but still, especially for the time, look really, really good. It's a lot more fun than I remembered. I did ding it a little bit for where it doesn't quite pass the test of time, but I brought it in at a 75. I still think was very well done, and it's why it's used as kind of the template for a lot of superhero, at least the origin stories out there.
It was everything I kind of remember it being. I think you can go back and you watch it. If you've seen it before, you're still going to enjoy it for its nostalgia base. You're going to enjoy it for its performance. But I also, as we were watching, I realized that with the fact of the time that it doesn't measure up today, it's also a fun Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It was,
just make these comments and everything. And it's just like, wow. It was amazing for that part. So it's all around, just no matter what side of it in, I think you can find something to enjoy of it. And this is the time I don't know if we've ever came any closer. I had a 74.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, that was close.